Hi, just popping in for a quick office hours here. I am Scott with Work Happier. I'm going to talk for a minute or two about sick days. The question that essentially has come in here is does a refusal to use sick days build credibility at work? Or flip side of that, does using sick days reduce your credibility at work? To give you a really quick idea, there's one person that says it doesn't. One person who hasn't used a sick day in 2 years and refuses to use them. Look, both right, kind of, because like most things, the answer is somewhere in the middle. Mainly because there are so many other different factors that come into this: career goals, career progress, workplace culture, results. Are you getting the work done? The industry and the role and what's required of you or what's being asked of you, all shift it one way or the other. Generally, I would say, of course, if sick days are built into your work plan or your contract or however you want to say it, then yeah, use them when you have to use them when you're sick. There's nobody expects you to be miserable. That said, obviously, if you're maxing out days like to the minute, to the hour, you're consistently calling in just because you can. And then on the other hand, you're not delivering, right? That would be obviously a credibility problem. Or you're even the perception is that you're not delivering, right? That is a credibility problem because credibility isn't always rooted in reality. Sometimes it's just how somebody sees us. So, there's validity to both sides of it, certainly. Now, the question to ask yourself or somebody else, if you're in this kind of a conversation or a back and forth exchange, a lot of the time we're asking ourselves this: is it okay to call in sick? How do I feel about this? Does it impact my credibility? That's the question ultimately that we're asking here. Is just ask yourself or the other person: does your boss ever call in sick? Does their boss ever call in sick? Do your colleagues call in sick? Do high performers? Have you seen somebody call in sick and get promoted? What is the culture around calling in sick? And if the answer is, well, yeah, all of those things are true. My boss is occasionally not at work. My colleagues sometimes don't show up because they have strep throat. Then it's kind of like point made. Like, step back and go, oh, right. It obviously doesn't impact certain aspects of this job to call in sick every once in a while because people are successful within this company that do it. It's a simple, logical progression. On the flip side, man, if the answer is no, nobody ever calls in sick here. My boss doesn't call in sick, and I've heard people talk like people who do call in sick end up moving on, or the work is so overwhelming that calling in sick when you can go do the work is actually worse in the long run than just showing up and getting it done, right? So, does it pile up? Does it compile? I don't know what the work is, so it's hard to say. But if the answer is no, then frankly, whoever this is, you, yourself, somebody else, I guess my argument there would be that you understand the workplace culture that you're dealing with and you're playing the game. And if you don't want to play the game, you don't have to. You can step out. You can try to do it different ways. You can, offset whatever it is. You can try to shift workplace culture if you are in that kind of a position to do so. But if you're not calling in sick because nobody calls in sick and that's just how it is there, then you're right, I guess. Anyway, this has been Work Happier Office Hours with Scott, just talking a little bit about calling in sick and its relation to credibility. Follow me on my socials, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck out there, everybody.